debate on systemic racism. Fun. Should be a fun one. What's up, guys? Am I live? I think I am. It is 9:01 a.m. Thursday, the 20th of January, 2021 AD, Anno Domini, if you prefer, which I think is according to one of my YouTube commenters, aggressively stating, is it aggressive, that it is pronounced Domini, Anno Domini. Domini is the one that I learned, but they say it's Anno Domini. It's going to take me a while to learn that one. It is 9:01 U.S. Pacific Standard Time here in Los Angeles, 2022 AD, January 20th. Tonight, the Crucible. I'm going to be on the Crucible again. Very nice. I'll tell you about that. And we're going to have a fun, loosey-goosey Thursday show, guys. Going to talk about the attack on the Americans, on the real Americans, the people who want America to become, once again, America. Many of us don't recognize our country anymore. It's a big mess. I've been skipping this talk about shameless women, and I have an even worse one. And shameless female-minded males, too. It's a fact. It's true. An interesting Twitter thread about trusting the science and what's up, what's going on with the China virus. I may talk about this crazy story of a woman getting hit by a car, a woman reporter getting hit by a car. She got right back up. I have footage of it. It was not too graphic, in my opinion. It was a little bit shocking, though. And maybe a nice throwback episode. Nice throwback, not episode, but throwback story of, I was perusing YouTube and saw this funny story. But a sad story, I guess, sad. About a black guy who was convicted of, was it rape or was it sexual assault? And sexual assault is so vague. What a mess, huh? What a mess. All that and your calls. Some of you already on hold. You can call in 888-775-3773. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. Eric says, nice shirt. Well, thank you. I like this t-shirt. It says, outside. I was hesitant, actually, to wear this shirt because, well, I don't know. It seemed a little wrinkly to me, but it's partly the style. That's what I tell myself. And I got it from REI, that communist co-op, but I didn't know, and I have it, and it's a nice shirt, and so what? Everything's communist. The commie capitalists have taken over America. You can't help almost but do business with them, but there are people out there who are giving you better options. Follow them. Follow their advice or keep up with what they're doing. There was some app, I think, called Second Vote or something like that. Years back, they were like generally talking about pro-freedom people whom you could patronize. You do business with. Very cool. I have some super chats to read as well, guys. Thank you, guys, over there on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. You can go there if you'd like to give a super chat, or you can do it right there on Odyssey, ODYSEE.com/@The Hake Report. Let me tell you, quick write-off, I have upcoming today an appearance, a systemic racism debate on the Crucible. And I'm not too familiar with Tom Foolery show. He was in my live chat, I think, yesterday. Is he in there again today? I don't know. But I put it up in a blog post, little announcement on the HakeReport.com. When you go to the HakeReport.com, up top there should be a See Hake's recent appearances. Well, it's also some upcoming ones. There have been many, and that's cool. Shout out to Jesse Lee and Nick helping that happen. I've been using the studio for many of them. And sometimes I've traveled. Modern Day Debate flew me out to Dallas, Texas to do a debate. But the Crucible has had me on a couple of times. The Crucible with Andrew Wilson and, man, what's that guy's name? Let me look it up. He has a co-host over there who appears to be, to my view, a black Hispanic. Pedro Guzman. Pedro Guzman. He's like a black Hispanic, I think. But I'm going to be debating Tom Foolery. What an apt name. Or I don't know, maybe he's going to agree with me. His Twitter is so interesting. It's just a little sneak peek at this guy. I have actually the thumbnail for this upcoming debate that we could show. I joked on YouTube when I made the community post. You see me in the lower left. If you're watching the videos feed here, this is the thumbnail that the Crucible put up on their YouTube channel, The Crucible with Andrew Wilson and Pedro Guzman. Well, up above me in the upper left is Tom Foolery. And right there, it looks like Tom Foolery has a bald head, and he's a white man, and he has like a goatee, you know, a mustache, beard, a little bit of soul patch thing, little beard thing on his chin. I think that's called a goatee, right? And on his Twitter, @TomFooleryP, says he's a streamer, a rhetoric/debate coach, a Christian, an LGBTQ advocate, pro-BLM, pro-Black Lives Matter, pro-life, right-wing progressive. What in the world? Reminds me of, didn't Fanatic claim he was a right-wing progressive? But if you look at this picture, he looks like American History X. So I joked that I was going to be debating American History X, which if you're not familiar, that was a movie that came out when I was in high school, I guess, with Edward Norton. I had friends who said that I looked like Edward Norton, one Asian guy. You know, all whites look the same to the Asians, right? And all Asians look the same to everybody else. Kidding a little bit, but not completely. But he looks like the skinhead version of Edward Norton, who's a Hollywood actor who played in this Hollywood movie just smearing the whites, American History X. Some people liked that movie. I didn't really like it. It had some rough scenes in it that I was not a fan of. And then it also felt like I was getting, what is the term for it? I felt like I was being propagandized. And I wasn't really aware of the depths of the evil of the propaganda. But I knew, and we all knew, that for a long time, there's been what would you call it? A boogeyman of white supremacists. Boogeyman. Scaremongering. It's basically just smearing Americans. And only looking at what the whites do wrong. In some cases, they're doing right or doing fine, just doing what they have a right to do or saying what they have the right to say. And they're getting, I don't like that scene, axe murderer. Main character is vindicated in the end, says Chris. Yeah, I know, huh? That's right. His little brother, I don't want to spoil the movie for you, but I'm about to spoil it anyway for you. At the end, his little brother's kind of like following in his footsteps, but not wanting to, and because Edward Norton's supposedly a Nazi who pulls down his thing and he tells his mother's Jewish boyfriend, "Not welcome." You know what this means? Not welcome. And he's showing a swastika. That's that cool sign that has like a hooked cross. It's not cool to some people. It looks like a hate symbol to some people, right? And they might have been hateful people. I don't know. I wasn't around back then. But you know, like a lot of angry people attached to it. Sometimes in defiance, sometimes facetiously, and sometimes really. But his brother gets it from black on white crime. Wow, what a shame, huh? And all he did was blow smoke in their face in a prior scene, and he's telling a young weak white guy you got to stand up for yourself. There, I spoiled the whole movie. What a mess. I mean, it's not like the movie's not 25 30 years old. Something like that. Well, so yeah, I appeared previously on the Crucible talking about a rap debate. A rap debate. I mean, I was participating in a rap debate, a debate about rap and how rap culture, specifically much of the black rap stuff, is a mess. Even the positive rap people, they're not leading people towards the truth, just positivity. One of my favorite positive rappers, Blackalicious, he died at a young age. Remember Blackalicious, any of you? He was all positive, but even he was like didn't seem like he was a Christian, and he was fat, which is not a positive thing to be. You know what I mean? Spoiler alert, Hake, what the heck? It's not like this movie just came out. You know, speaking of the rap thing, before I get to calls, let me just tell you about, did you guys hear my little Hake News segment at the end of hour 2, I think, of the Jesse Lee Peterson show? The far-left female run outlet The Skim talked about these musicians. This week, rap music on trial legislation passed through an initial stage in the New York State Senate. New York State Senate, full of a bunch of sleazy Democrats, I would think. And if any Republicans, many rhinos, I would assume, since the 1990s, when we had major crime out of control, and now we have just major homosexuality out of control, right? We've switched the crime for a female homosexuality, all weakness, and there's still crime. Why not just return to fathers? But no. What a mess. Police and prosecutors have used rap lyrics to pursue criminal cases against criminal suspect rap artists. In some cases, lyrics have been presented as evidence rather than viewed as artistic expressions. Now, the New York bills, first introduced back in November, would prevent prosecutors from using an artist's lyrics in criminal cases. What? If all the artists throwing their support behind it jumped on a song together, it would probably be a banger. I read to you from the cringy ladies at the Skim. SKIMM. Jay-Z, Meek Mill, Big Sean. Wasn't Meek Mill in prison for a while? Was Jay-Z in prison? I think he used to sell drugs. Big Sean, Fat Joe, Kelly Rowland. I said that they were all thugs. Bronx native Fat Joe said, lyrics are a creative form of self-expression and entertainment, just like any other genre. It reminds me, they're pretending. They are evil people, misguiding the young. I remember one song from like, what is it? Not Ice-T, Ice Cube. Complaining about the police chasing me because I'm a black man or a young black male. Well, that would be because young black male is committing a whole lot of crimes. But no, reform the police, not the blacks. Jay-Z's lawyer said it's a long time coming. I told you about Snoop Doggy Dogg, who allegedly was involved in like a drive-by type of incident right down in Culver City at a park right there. Beautiful Culver City. Snoop Dogg being from like his real name, Calvin Brodus. Calvin Cordozar Brodus Jr. from Long Beach. What's he doing up in Culver City? Go back down where you came from. We don't like your kind around here. But he and some others allegedly shot another black whom they had some beef with or something like that, who was just over at like a picnic or something. And he walked up to their vehicle because I think they called him over and they shot him. Wow. Or they had some type of altercation. According to the story that I heard. But he was all talking about murder was the case in 187, which is a police code for murder, homicide, right? I think. And he got off. Was he actually innocent, or was the jury just not wanting to convict, like a black jury, not wanting to convict a black, especially a black, relatively well-known person? When was that? In 2018, I thought it was Drakeo, but I think it's pronounced Draco because I don't keep up with this mess. Draco the Ruler, real name Daryl Wayne Caldwell. He was convicted of murder after prosecutors used his lyrics to prove he was guilty. I was watching a 2016 interview with this guy. Oh, man, he was a mess at that point, but apparently he was talented. People liked his stuff. He was acquitted later in 2019. Does that mean he was innocent? I don't know, because the justice system's all messed up now, you know? He was a felon. And I think he had pleaded guilty to shooting a weapon from a vehicle. But he got stabbed in the neck backstage before an event, a major event, with a whole bunch of big names. And he was killed. What a mess, huh? And so I say that the rap culture is a mess. Even the so-called positive ones, they're a mess. Terrible. Okay, so let me get to first-time caller Jay in Dallas, Texas. He has a question for me. What's up, Jay?
Hey, how's it going, Hake?
Going well. Is it just J, the letter J?
Yes.
Nice. Nice to hear from you. Doing well.
Cool. No, I just had a question. I think the other day you said something like, oh, nobody watches Family Guy. And, like, I watch shows like that, Family Guy, South Park, or, like movies like maybe The Golden Compass or fantasy movies, stuff like that. And I always see that, like, if you meet someone and they're Christian, they'll be like, oh, I don't watch that. It's anti-God. Or, because, like, you look forward to a movie and then it gets canceled because the Christian community said it was offensive or it teaches witchcraft or whatever.
Speak up for me.
To get your opinion.
The Christian community
so I just wanted to get your...
the Christian community says what?
They'll cancel it because they'll say it's anti-God or it teaches witchcraft.
Oh,
things like that. So I just wanted to get your opinion on it. And, like I've heard Jesse say, like, just read it or watch it, but don't get too into it. So I just wanted to get your opinion on that, what you think about things like that,
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I am for censorship of the most vulgar and obscene stuff. I am for the censorship of that, or at least wide condemnation of it from like men, not cringy ladies or female-minded Christian males or whatever, who are just all soft. But I am for strong condemnation and shaming of some of this stuff. I don't remember saying people don't watch Family Guy. Maybe I advised people not to watch it, like kids.
No. I think you said something. I assumed that you watched it. You said something like, "Does anybody watch Family Guy?" No. Or so earlier in the week or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that.
funny.
And I was like, I think.
I've made Family Guy references. I've made Family Guy
okay.
references because it is like a vulgar cartoon, even more vulgar, I think, maybe than Simpsons was. Which Simpsons came out when I was a kid getting into adolescence, and I was never really allowed to watch it. Occasionally, if I would be out on a trip, somebody else would be watching it, and we would watch it, but it was kind of funny, but it was also kind of vulgar or whatever. And cartoons just got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And so did live action shows. Like the Married with Children was another show that was too vulgar. They didn't let us watch it. My friends all knew it and loved it. One of my friends got married to that song, Love and Marriage, which I guess it's not a Married with Children song, but they used it. I think it's a classic song. But Family Guy, I thought it was kind of funny sometimes. And when I was in college, it was Family Guy and Chappelle's Show and other stuff that was funny. It made fun of everybody. It was not necessarily politically correct, but it's gotten cringier and cringier, both of those people, if you will.
Right.
South Park, I knew this preacher guy who would watch South Park, and he was like a wise man. He thought it was funny. And he was like a traditional, like straightforward, truth-telling man, wise man, too. But he would reference South Park sometimes. Old guy, too. It's funny.
Cool.
Yeah,
well,
so I advise,
man.
I participated in a debate about transgender so-called rights. which I say there's no such thing. And we got to the question of what age should transgenders be allowed, so-called children, be allowed to get their, hormone therapy or whatever, which I call it hormone shenanigans. I said they shouldn't until 18. And even at 18, how can a doctor whose pledge is to do no harm do this to a fellow human being? It's totally misguided. And then they also brought up the question, what about transgenders in sports? And I was like, you know what? I'm not for transgenders in sports because that is presenting them as normal and this is okay and it's fine. And it's not. It's when you give them that visibility that they crave, you're validating it for impressionable people who are very impressionable and easily brainwashed. And Satan can tell them, oh, this person is a sports hero. Maybe you can be transgender too. But I was thinking about it, and maybe since they are allowing it, maybe we should push for them to allow people like me to be commentators on this and say how disgusting and wrong it is. Because that's part of the problem, is they're censoring the truth in favor of the lie. If anything, we should be censoring the lie in favor of the truth, or speaking the truth to the lie. You know what I mean? Wouldn't it be awesome if I were a sports commentator talking about these transgender swimmers and be like, it would make it kind of entertaining and fun, and at least the kids would know that there's somebody out there saying this is not right, which the kids, I think they inherently kind of know that it's not right.
You know, and I had never looked at it that way until you mentioned it now. And when, you were hearing that, girls need to be in Boy Scouts, and they were pushing for that, and women wanted to play in men's sports, I used to just say, well, why don't they start their own league? And then if they want to play in men, have a separate league of men and women play, or transgenders or whatever. But, I never thought about it that way. And when they were trying to pass the gay marriage, I remember thinking, if they pass it, eventually it'll be something else. Well, I want to do this. You let them do that. Well, I want to do that. And it'll just get more immoral.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, you're right. And we're starting to see that, and we're probably going to see a lot more crazy stuff, people, I don't know, wanting to marry their chicken or something.
I know. Yeah, it's really nasty and vulgar. We've seen hints of that stuff around the world with so-called Western countries. It's no wonder many of the Muslims really look down on us. So what a shame. Yeah. I appreciate it, Jay. It's nice to hear from you, man.
All right. Thank you, Hake. Have a good day, and say hi to everyone from me over there. And
all right. Sounds good. Call me again sometime.
Have a good day.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Let me quickly get to William in Kansas City, Missouri. How you doing, William? William.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Jay, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good.
No, you're not. No man is good.
Oh, you gonna tell me how I am? No man tells me how I am.
Oh,
I'm
yes,
good.
I do.
No, you do not.
I'm American. I can say what I want.
You can say whatever you want to say, but I'm good.
I'm telling you, you are not good. No man is good.
I'm telling you I am. I'm good.
Then you are a liar.
And you are a liar, because you can't tell me how I am. Are you a fortune teller or something? Are you a doctor? Or
you
what?
Can be fine.
Are you a doctor?
You can be fine.
Are you a doctor?
Doctors don't determine right and wrong. They don't determine good and evil.
And neither do you.
Oh, yes, I do. I'm a Christian, and I'm an American.
Right and wrong. So who are you? Are you God?
I am.
Are you God?
No.
Well, who are you?
You're the one trying to play God. You're calling yourself good.
Who are you to tell me how I am?
I can't believe we're arguing about this. You're trying to call yourself good. Only God is good. So you're the one who thinks you're God.
No, I said I'm good. I know how I am.
All right.
Okay, now let's move on.
All right. Hake 1, William 0.
I have a question. You don't have nothing. You the dumbest white boy I ever met.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. At least I'm remarkable. Enough for you to call me multiple times.
I know you. Oh man. Now my question is, actually I was on hold for Jesse, but he You ran out of time.
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know, but I know you heard him say this.
I'll be your backup plan.
Good. Because I got a question. You know, you don't have to answer it because the question was for him, but I often heard him say that white people created the greatest country on earth. You agree with that, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, yeah, I do. The greatest country on earth currently, anyway.
And he said it is the greatest country on earth. Now, I don't deny that it is the greatest country on earth. I don't deny that.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think that they built it on their own. I think that
the whites?
Country was the white people. Yeah, the white people didn't do it all on their own.
No, we had God helping us.
Saying. Huh?
God helped the whites.
Yes, he helped the white by letting them use other people. Other people, they helped created this country.
By other people, who are you referring to?
To be great, I'm talking about every other nationality. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jews. I'm talking about Mexicans. I'm talking about Asian people.
Oh, Lord.
I'm talking about Italians. Everybody everybody contribute to this country, not just white people.
They also detract from it, unfortunately. Which is
the only about what they detract.
Yeah, that's why the whites have problems with these other people, and the whites have problems with whites who detract from the country too.
Well, we got some white people have detracted from their own country.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, and the whites don't appreciate those whites either.
Yeah, we got some have detracted, but I'm going on to say.
But per capita, the POCs and the Italians detract more from the country than the whites do. Because whites tend to be more law-abiding, more conservative, more Christian, more fair-minded, more
that's not true.
Engineering.
That's not true, and you know it's not.
No, per capita. I'm just talking about per capita, statistically speaking.
You're supposed to be a Christian, and you're lying through your teeth.
No, I'm not.
That's not true. That's not true, and you know it's not true.
Okay.
Now, my question is, and it's what you're saying, what Jess is saying is true, that white people made this country what it is, and that's what you said. You all didn't include any other nationality. You just said white people.
With the help of God.
If that's the case, it must be something wrong, because what I want to know is why is there, if they create the greatest country that it is, why is there so many homeless white people in America today? And I've noticed this from the last 3 years. It's so many homeless people up on the bridges.
Yeah.
On the side of the street.
Disgusting.
And it's just a mess. They got trash and everything everywhere. I'm talking about white people. Why is that if America's so great? Something got to be wrong. Something got to be wrong if you create the greatest country on earth and you got white people up on the bridges sleeping.
Not good.
And camps and everywhere, just a mess.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of...
Can you answer that question for me?
Yeah, I can answer that question. Because we allowed communists into America who like commie capitalists into America, who subvert America and undermine our ability to keep law and order and cleanliness and civilization.
Okay.
And shame on us for allowing
that. And I'm not going to deny that. If that is true, then you know what that means?
What does it mean?
That means that you're not that smart.
That part is not smart.
That
You're right.
means that you're not that smart.
Who's you?
If you let somebody else come into your country and take over like that, that means you're not that smart.
Indeed. Great point, William.
Isn't that true?
Don't you
agree with that?
I totally agree. How far we've fallen that we allow homeless people to take over evil.
So you're not that smart. You agree to that?
I agree to that.
You created the greatest country on earth.
Yep.
And then you become the dumbest that it is on earth.
Shameful, huh? Suckers. So what should we do about these homeless people?
Huh?
What should we do about these homeless people?
Well, no, I want to hear from you and Jesse. You all are the experts.
Okay, I say we get tough with them. We outlaw homelessness because that's not a right. It's not a right to impose on the country.
What you gonna do with them? Kill them?
No, not generally. I mean, if they commit a crime,
what you gonna do?
If they commit a crime, that's worthy of death.
What are you going to do? What's the solution? What's the solution there?
Some of them.
I want to hear your take on it. What would be your idea?
Some of them belong in insane asylums. Some of them belong in jail where they need to do like prison work and be slave labor. Some of them belong just they need to be harassed and just made generally uncomfortable to be a slave. I mean, to be a homeless. People need to shame them so that they kind of drive them off.
Shame them? How you gonna shame somebody that's already shamed to death?
Oh, no. If they were shamed to death, they would not be comfortable enough to be outside.
You can't get no law living up under a bridge.
I know, but people pander to them.
So how you gonna shame them? They don't care nothing about
we
no
also need to
shaming.
deport the homeless advocates because there's a lot of people who advocate for they call them unhoused. They used to be called bums because that's what they are, just bums, worthless bums.
Called what?
Bums.
So
And
you
now,
gonna call them white bums?
to be honest, like it's disproportionately black. So I don't know what you're talking about with this white bums
No,
thing.
I'm talking about white people.
There's some
I made
whites.
it clear
There's
who
some
I was
whites.
talking about.
There's some whites, but there's a whole lot of Hispanics, blacks, even some Asian homeless people.
I'm not talking about them. We already
Why
know
not?
why they're there. I'm talking about
Why
white
are they there?
people. The people that created America and made
Why are
America the
they
greatest
there?
country on earth.
Why are the POC homeless?
That's why I want to know why they're there.
You claimed you already know why they're there.
Huh?
You claimed to already know why they
I know.
are.
I asked you. I didn't say I knew why they were there. I asked you.
Because they're
I'm
bums.
asking questions. I'm not supplying
Because
answers.
they're
I'm asking
bums.
questions.
You're making a claim that's not true. That it's whites. It's not primarily
really?
whites.
Would you like for me to send you some photos?
Not
I
particularly.
see it every day.
I see it every day. It's mostly blacks.
Would you like for me to send you some photos if I'm lying?
Not particularly. I already answered that question.
What did you say?
I said not particularly. No, I would not like
Oh,
you
I know
to
you
send me
wouldn't-
questions.
I know you wouldn't
Send
want
me
to see
pics.
it. I didn't think you would want to see it.
Nobody wants to see
'Cause you
homeless
know it's
people.
true.
Nobody wants to see homeless people.
I don't want to see homeless people. I just asked a question.
All right. Well,
I
thank
don't
you, man.
want to see nobody homeless.
Nice.
But I just asked a question.
I think
Why
maybe they
is
should
that
be
the-
deported in some cases.
You gonna deport white people out of America? Where you gonna deport them to?
They're not white if they are homeless.
No, they are white.
Nope.
These are white
true.
people I'm talking about. You didn't hear me say nothing about nobody else homeless. I'm saying
Because
white.
you're
There are
cherry
other
picking.
homeless
You're
people,
cherry picking.
But I'm speaking specifically
You're
about
cherry
white
picking.
people. No, I'm not cherry picking.
Yeah, you are. You're clearly
I'm just
cherry
speaking about
picking.
the-
You have a
I'm
beef
speaking
against
about the
white people.
that created America.
You have a
And you
beef
understand that?
against white people.
The people that created America. That's
You
what I'm talking
hate
about
white
right now.
people.
We know why the rest of them are there.
You hate white. See, you just made the claim
No,
that
I
you
don't
know
hate
why
white
the rest
people.
of them are there. Now you're a
Huh?
liar.
What?
You just lied to me.
About what?
You told me twice now that we know why the rest of them, meaning the POC homeless people, are homeless. And
Yeah,
then
we
you
know why
lied and
they're
said you
homeless.
didn't say that. Why are you so confusing? How old are you?
What you mean, how old am I? How old are you? I'm older than you.
I'm 40 and a half. You're
That's
in your
why I know
70s?
more than you.
Are you losing your
That's
mind?
why I know more than you, because I'm older
Are you
than you.
losing your mind?
No. Are you losing yours?
I gotta
now,
go.
You're not losing your mind.
Since you're not
going
going to answer my question. Since you're not going to answer
You
my
be trying to
question.
escape the question.
Since you're not going to answer my question, I got to let you go, man.
I'll answer any question you ask.
Why do you think that you know that the POCs are homeless, the people of color, the non-whites?
Because they didn't build America.
And so that's
They
why they're
didn't have the
homeless.
access. They
That's
didn't build
dumb.
America. You said
That's
only
a
white
dumb
people
answer.
built it.
Shows you how, as old and supposedly wise as you're supposed to be, you gave the dumbest answer to why the POCs are homeless. They didn't build America. Give me a break.
Well, you the one
That's a
to
dumb
brag
answer.
about how white people build America.
You didn't build
You the
America
one,
and you're not homeless.
Peterson was bragging about that.
You didn't build America and you're not homeless. I didn't build America and I'm not homeless. So that's a dumb answer.
Contribute.
Huh?
I contribute. I pay taxes. I contribute.
Paying taxes is not contributing to building America.
I contribute.
Nah, I don't buy
I
that.
worked and I contributed.
Then why do you
I
have
worked
such?
a lot longer than you have. I was
Then why
working
do you have
before
such
was even
dumb
born.
opinions?
I
bet
was
you
working before
voted.
you was born.
I bet you voted for the destruction of America.
I voted for what?
The destruction of America, not for the
I can
building
vote
of
for whatever
America.
I want to vote.
Did you vote for Trump?
No, I wouldn't go for Trump. Well, that's the destruction
He did
right
not
there.
contribute to the building of America.
That's the destruction right there. Donald Trump is a destruction.
No way. He was part of the rebuilding of it. But thank you, man. Nice talking with you.
Nice talking to you, Jake.
Bye. Jake was my dog's name, my dad's dog anyway. Jake Hake. He was older than me, a black lab. Jake, do you want to go for a run? Nice. I dressed up as Jake as a kid for Halloween. Jake Hake. You slaved for a system, says Dave Singleton. Yeah, that's not contributing to America. Louis Boots, he says, Hake is losing this one. Do you agree with the guy who called the Italians not white, Louis? Okay, there's one line open, guys. Before I get back to the calls, I want to get to a story that's going on, an ongoing story, and that is the attack on Americans, real American heroes. And I'm not talking just about G.I. Joe. Politico reports, January 6th, investigators, which is such a scam of a statement is what they are. It's not what they are. Can't you even identify them as government propagandists, establishment government, Democrat and Rhino propagandists? That's what the January 6th subcommittee is. Special select committee against investigating the insurrection, attack on the Capitol. But this is the headline from Politico reporting yesterday, or early this morning? No, yesterday. January 6th investigators subpoenaed far-right figures, they're not far-right, who promoted election fraud claims. Nick Fuentes and Patrick Casey. You guys familiar with those names? Leaders of the extremist America First movement. I'm sorry, Politico, you are the extremist. And so is the January 6th subcommittee, select so-called committee, investigating the Capitol building. The establishment are the extremists. These people are centrist, center-right, maybe a little bit further right, maybe. But that's basically what America is. That's what the Constitution is. That's what America was supposed to be. Both were outside the Capitol on January 6th. So, in other words, they did not go into the Capitol building. They did not go anywhere they were not supposed to be. They were Americans doing American things. That is to be protesting shenanigans that they felt were shenanigans. It's a report by Nicholas Wu, nice old American name, and Kyle Cheney. The panel investigating the January 6th insurrection credulously writes these people, gullibly writing these people. It was no insurrection. On Wednesday, subpoenaed two fringe far-right figures. Fringe only in the sense that they have been marginalized by anti-American establishment, commie capitalist, social media establishment, banks, and government establishment that's against real Americans. That's the only way that they are remotely fringe. They're just normal people. Known for spreading misinformation about the results of the 2020 election. They just call it misinformation, when these are the biggest liars. The mainstream media, the biggest liars. Urging Republicans to overturn it. And they mentioned Nick Fuentes, a head of extremist America First movement, gained prominence by agitating false claims about election shenanigans. I think he was pretty prominent before that. So how much fake news can you fit in 2 paragraphs? On Capitol grounds, January 6, 2021, he was working with Ali Alexander, who was also subpoenaed, I believe. And Ali Alexander is like a centrist guy, maybe even center-left. He's another guy who was, when I was producer, he appeared on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, Ali Alexander. He is a black and Arab guy. His father, I think, was a Muslim, maybe, from like the Middle East, and his mother, I think, black. And he's been involved in politics a long time. And he and Nick, I don't think that they would ordinarily get along because Ali falls for the racism idea. But they were working together because they love America and they love Trump, who loves America, you know? And they were leery about the suspected shenanigans, you know? So they were on the Capitol grounds. Ooh, no evidence he entered the building. Fuentes, a white nationalist. He's white, somewhat white, and he's also Afro-Latino, and a nationalist. boogeyman, who celebrated the attack in its aftermath, notably hosted Representative Paul Gosar, Republican of Arizona, as a keynote speaker at a conference last year, AVPAC 2. AVPAC 3 coming up next month, just weeks after the attack. Paul Gosar was not for the aspect of the mostly peaceful Capitol protest that turned into a riot. Nick Fuentes, he's a young man, maybe sometimes gets excitable or jokes around, right? And so he might have been like, yeah, you know what? It's kind of nice to see the people getting a little rowdy. Because that's effectively what most of this was. Even the riot aspect of it. They got a little rowdy. They went in, mulled around, played around like they were in Nancy Pelosi's desk. A photographer told this old guy, put your feet on the desk. Make yourself comfortable. I don't know if he told him to put his feet on the desk. Make yourself comfortable. Pose. Let me pose for a picture. And that guy got hammered. Ridiculous. Patrick Casey was also America First type of a guy. Promoted the events on his Telegram account. And I don't even know if he was allowed on Twitter. So a lot of these people have gone to Telegram and they're acting like it's an encrypted messaging. Pfft. It's used for social media by like Milo, Ali, and Nick, and Real Vincent James, and Hake. I'm not kicked off of Twitter yet. JLP's on Telegram. Everybody's on Telegram. Even like mainstream people are on Telegram. They're writing it in a way to suggest that these people are sneaky and doing bad things. Give me a break. This is Benny Thompson. He's the light-skinned black radical. He's a Democrat from Mississippi who supported black insurrections in his decades past. He's a phony politician, a black Democrat. All you need to know, really, black Democrat. He writes, the Select Committee is seeking facts about planning, coordination, and funding of events that preceded the violent attack on our democracy. We believe the individuals that we have subpoenaed today have information relevant to those questions, and we expect them to cooperate with the committee. And they subpoenaed other people, too. I mentioned during the Jesse Lee Peterson show, they subpoenaed the My Pillow guys stuff. Like, the My Pillow guy is another guy who supports Trump. Sometimes he may have said things that didn't pan out to be true. You know what I mean? He's said stuff like, oh, pretty soon people are going to be talking about reinstating Trump. And I don't know that really panned out. But he's a Christian man who loves America. He turned himself around from being on drugs to being the CEO of a major My Pillow company, mypillow.com. And he, according to him, after this subpoena thing, this attack from these politically motivated people who are doing a witch hunt against Trump and his supporters and real Americans, he's been debanked. And I played for you earlier this week, Darren Beatty of Revolver.news talking about that stuff. They're going after Trump. They're going after Trump's son and daughter. And I told you about, they're not the only ones going after Trump and his son and daughter. So, too, is the New York Attorney General, that black female woman who ousted her competitor, Andrew Cuomo, another Democrat who's sleaze. But they Me Too'd him. So phony. Let me read to you more fake news from independent.uk. Independent UK is a UK outlet, far left. They amplified baseless election conspiracy theories at several rallies in Washington, D.C., writes Independent UK. They just shrug anything that they don't want to be looked into very closely as baseless conspiracy theories. They describe Fuentes as a self-described white majoritarian. That's a nice phrase, I guess. White majoritarian who supported the insurrection. That's fake news. And was removed from several social media platforms for hate speech, which is a fake term. Prominent streamer and leader of the Groyper movement of young reactionary far-right nationalists. Casey is a leader of the white nationalist American identity movement. Both identified by the committee as leaders of the America First or Groyper movement on Capitol grounds. The horror. Doing America things, such as protesting. They participated in rallies ahead of the attack, including the 2020 Million MAGA March, which I think Million MAGA March, no real incidents of violence except for maybe between Antifa and some of the rally boy Proud Boys who may participate in some ill-advised self-defense, mostly self-defense, right? And Stop the Steal rallies. No reports of violence at Stop the Steal rallies because right-wingers are self-policing. Anybody acts a little out of line? Hey, get on out of here. They called for, listen to this, they called for the destruction of the Republican Party for failing to overturn the election, according to the committee. See, they cast rhetoric talking about the Republican Party, who are traitors to the Republican Party. The establishment Republicans betrayed Trump, betray the Christians, betray the whites, betray the men. They're just complete. I want to say the word that I define as betraying what's right in favor of what's wrong. Can I say the word? Sorry, kids. I don't want to say the word. And adults, I don't want to say the word, but they are just make you want to spit. Just weak and pathetic. Yeah, I want them destroyed, but destroyed metaphysically speaking, of course. But they're trying to pretend that this is some violent thing. Pathetic. Yeah, it's a fake term, hate speech. But that's what the UK are. There's a bunch of cowards. So, salute and hat tip to everybody who's being marginalized and persecuted for loving America. It's happening a lot. And so there's people in jail for it. There are people who are being subpoenaed for it. Joseph Gergelix wants me to say it. I don't want to say it because it's also like a dirty word. But anyway, pray for the people who are political prisoners. You know, there's cops who've done what I consider to be reasonable shoots, and they've been convicted of like murder and stuff. And they're rotting in jail. There's former cops and whites and normal Americans just persecuted. The justice system is not about real justice. Hake music makes me want to spit. No, I mean, this stuff is worse than my music, I think. Terrible. Let me quickly get to Joel. I think it's Joel in Orlando, Florida, unless it's Joel. But Joel in Orlando, Florida, am I pronouncing your name correct? Joel?
You actually got the latter right. My name is pronounced Joel, but...
Okay, Joel. Nice. Good to hear from you.
Hake. Yes, sir. Thank you. So I've actually been listening to you and Jesse for a few years now, and I think you guys are excellent at what you do. I mean, just great asatirical politics. And if you truly do believe what you believe and what you preach on the radio every morning, then kudos to you. I just had one question. So I've been.
Then how come you called it satirical politics?
Well, the reason I call it satirical is because I believe that there are times where you guys express certain ideas and opinions that are just so beyond the realm of reality that it has to be satirical. Otherwise, you guys are just shock jocks, right?
No.
I mean, shock jocks exist.
So in other words, you don't believe either. You have two alternative realities, neither of which are the truth. Are you black, Joel?
No, I'm not actually.
What are you?
Well, I'm actually Hispanic, but my skin color is more on the lighter side.
So you're a light-skinned Hispanic. Are you a white Hispanic or a black Hispanic? Or a light-skinned black Hispanic?
Light-skinned Hispanic.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So you really don't think that we believe what we're saying?
Well, you could, and that's absolutely possible.
So
and if you do, then
but you didn't list those as possibilities.
Well, let me put it to you this way.
All right.
Whether it's satirical or not, I will take you at face value, meaning that I believe you believe what you believe.
Oh, okay. That doesn't make a lot of sense, but fine.
I believe you're genuine. Let's put it that way, for the sake of argument.
Then why did you say it's either satirical or shock jock?
Because at the end of the day, I can't read your mind, nor can you read my mind. So we have to just go based off of what we hear from each other.
So you're contradicting yourself. That's odd.
No, absolutely not. But I did have a question for you, if I may ask.
Of course.
I've been listening to you folks for a couple of years now, and I've seen you debate in public panels. I've seen you debate in online panels, and et cetera, et cetera. I know that you and Jesse and your crew, you guys are very much traditional conservatives, right? Paleo conservatives, is that correct?
I don't know
Am
what.
I incorrect in
I don't know.
that?
I only ever heard of paleo conservatives like last year, so
Okay.
maybe I don't know.
Do you know what like paleo conservative means?
I've
just
heard that
curious.
that's like what Real Vincent James is and Pat Robertson is. I think Pat
You
Robertson,
were
right?
just talking about Nick Fuentes
No.
too. He's a paleo conservative.
Say again. Pat
Nick
Buchanan.
Fuentes?
Pat Buchanan, not Pat Robertson. I mix up my Christians.
Sure.
I mix up
Nick
my
Fuentes,
based
you were
Christians.
just talking about him. You know Nick Fuentes is a paleo conservative, right?
No, I didn't know that.
No, he is. Yeah, absolutely. He self-identifies as one, and that's fine. I have no real
What's
quarrel
a
with
paleo conservative? Define it for us.
So paleo is sort of a synonym for old-fashioned. It's more traditional. So you're more of a traditional conservative. You believe in traditional values, especially when it comes to the context of like American culture. You believe in family. You believe in keeping the mother and the father in the home, which I believe in as well, and along with many other things. And there's one question that
I know
had
that they're also
in
not for
regards
this
to-
globalist socialist stuff. They're not for I think that the paleocons are not for this neocon stuff. They don't like the
Right.
America's
Exactly.
allyship, strong allyship with Israel, for example. Pat Buchanan and them.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
And you
so
think that I'm like that too?
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing.
I don't know. I don't really know about the Israel thing like they do. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Well, I just have a question. And I have to go back to work in a few minutes because I'm a capitalist. I have to work. I try to make a living for my family.
Very
so
cute.
I have to leave in just a little bit.
You have a
Yes,
wife
sir.
and kids?
I do, yes, sir. And I have to provide for them.
I
and
feel
I have
for
to
them.
ask. And before you, you know what? I'm the head of my wife, so I'm very happy.
I don't buy
I
that.
have to ask, though. That's okay if you don't buy it.
Yeah.
I have to ask, though. It's a free market. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to.
Cute.
My question, though, for you, though, is how can you claim to be somebody who is against communism?
It's so
and you're
funny. This
against
guy.
all of these things.
Hold on, man.
However, at
Let
the
me
end
just
of the
briefly
day,
interrupt.
you
It's so
are-
funny that this guy is. I have to do this. It's so funny. This guy, he's like the phoniest person, one of the phoniest people that I've talked to, and he's accusing me of being phony. He's accused me of being satirical. When everything that he's just said is either satire or lies. Just interesting. Nothing. This doesn't strike me as sincere. But anyway, go ahead with your question, Joel.
Well, there's a difference between satirical and phony. A person could be satirical.
Right, you are phony.
But they are not
Yeah.
phony.
Right, you are phony, and I'm not phony. You think I'm satirical, but no, I'm not phony.
Well, okay. Well, my question was, how can you claim to be against communism when many of the great revolutionaries that practiced communism, such as Joseph Stalin, probably the most prominent figure, when they practiced the same anti-left, anti-socialist regimes, anti-homosexuality, anti-minority propaganda that you spew, they agreed with you. So I'm going to leave you with that question, and I'd like for you to respond.
And
without getting
what's your
angry.
point? Are you
I'm gonna hang
pro
up now, Hank.
LGBTIQ?
I absolutely am. X, Y, and
I'm
Z
not
as well.
surprised. You say you're the head of your wife. So who are you in the chat?
Absolutely.
Are you in the chat, Joel?
I am not in the chat, no, sir.
Then you don't realize that
I'm at work.
the radical homosexuals.
I have a job.
Do you don't realize
I
that
don't
the
have time
radical
to be in the chat.
homosexuals are communists?
Mhm. Some of them are the new age in the 21st century, absolutely. But it seems like
And you don't
agree with a lot
realize
of the
that
ideas
the
were-
LGBTIQ. Are you a Christian?
No, I am not.
Oh, okay. Not surprising.
I mean,
All
it's
right.
pretty fitting for all the other answers I've given you so far. So
Yeah, no, just because
See, I'm
those
a
people
truthful
were,
man.
just because
I'm
those
a
people,
truthful man,
according to
Hank.
you, just because those people may not have been for homosexuality doesn't mean that I have to be just because they were communists.
no, not necessarily.
That's completely
It's
illogical.
amazing to me that you talk
That's
about
completely
history and
illogical, Joel.
traditionalism. No, it's not.
Are you an
illogical, because when
American?
we talk about, I am an American. I live
How
in
old are you?
Florida. I am 25. I live in the great state of Florida.
That
with
doesn't make
Governor
you an
Ron
American
DeSantis
living in
as my
Florida.
leader.
You're
Hey, right.
25?
A lot
How
of
old are you?
illegals coming
How old are
down
your
here
kids?
complaining the prices around here, and I'm getting pretty tired of it.
How old are your kids?
1 and 2.
And are you a member of the LGBTIQ so-called community?
I am not.
Why do you support it?
support them.
Why do you support that degeneracy?
Well, it's not degeneracy, Hake.
Why do you support it?
Hey, I do have to go back in about 2 minutes here.
Why do you support
back at
it?
1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Why do you support
Answer my question. I'd like to know why
do you
agree
support-
with the ideals of
why
the
do you
original
support-
Communist Party while standing on national
Joel.
television and radio denouncing it. Thank you, Hake. You have a good one, all right? Take care.
Coward. What a mess. What an illogical person. But thank you for the call, Joel. Had he called before? Was he a first-time caller? He might have been a first-time caller. Nick thought, LOL, is this fanatic? Yeah, he was a first-time caller. Let me read some super chats for you guys. Joel, make better sense next time. Lin Yen Chin with the super chat states on Streamlabs, because mouth breathers lack sapience, their sentience is not just weak, but scattered and misused as their imagination spirals into confusion of forming and getting lost in useless jargon like the snake who rambles about pale, yo, whatever, as he insults you. Well, thank you, Lin Yen Chin. Your girlfriend with a super chat over there on streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. Hake is our lightning in a bottle. Well, thank you, your girlfriend. I think that was a reference during the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Based America First with a super chat states, Boris Johnson ends UK China virus restrictions. He must be trusting the science of getting reelected. I know. What a mess, huh? They don't want to listen to the people until they finally listen to the people. And they censor all the people who tell the truth that some of these things, some of these shutdown mess are questionable, right? Not necessary, way overblown, overprotective, and actually causing more destruction than they're helping. That's the female mindset. Doing more harm, pretending like you're doing people a favor. So evil. Simon gave a super chat and said, Hank, can you stop playing that dirty devil-worshipping music and actually play Christian music? I am tired of muting the stream every time. Shout out to the JLP Discord. Well, thank you, Simon. Or is it Simon? Thank you, Simon. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is the second non-Christian in my memory music that I have been playing. First non-Christian music first non-Christian music I played was OK. Remember OK with Marty Anderson? He had that grandma voice. And then this one is Human Television. But even the Christian music, they're a bunch of liberals. So is there such a thing as Christian music? They're a bunch of liberals. Exceptions to the rule. Are there any exceptions, or are all musicians liberals? T-minus 60 seconds for Hake Music, says Lord Bibby42. Yeah, indeed. I will be getting to more of that. I am going to be talking about this shameless women. And I will get to more of your calls. Dean in North Carolina wants to talk about the Freemasons. Rich is calling back from Victorville. He gives me the creeps, but I appreciate his calls. And other callers. There is one line open, guys. I appreciate that. I will also talk about this interesting thread about trusting the science. And a couple of clips, hopefully. But first, it is indeed that time for some music. And I don't have a clip to play for it, but just play whatever. This is from Human Television. It's from the All Songs Written By CD that I have been playing from 2004 from Gigantic Records. Human Television, Cars Are Weird. Hope you like it. That's the name of the song, Cars Are Weird. I'll be right back for hour 2. Hang tight, guys, and enjoy, or cover your ears, press mute, you musical Philistines, or listen to something else for a minute or a couple of minutes. I'll be right back, guys. Enjoy.
piece of gut. And when a hand broke off right there inside of me, but they took every little thing. Yeah, I got it. And I can see your breath oh so completely. It's running up and down your front. Uh-oh.
Well, wasn't that nice? I think it was. Press 1 if you mute, says Nugget Man. well, I thought you were a supporter, Nugget Man. No, I'm kidding. The car is Candy O, says Butch Conger. Is that what you're comparing them to? Play some Skillet, Hake, says Lord Bibby42. I liked their first album, Skillet. Their very first album was a nice album. Commies had cars, says Matt the American. I know, that's funny. I think I saw finally a good song, says Fionor. Aw, thank you. A volume down, says Ashley. What's up? Shout out to the Facebook crew. Nice to see you, guy. That caller's wife's boyfriend is probably a great guy. Funny joke, man. Real original. Good song, Hake, says Ryan H. Thank you, man. I need some validation. Free Ross says nostalgic music. Yeah. I agree. I think I found Joel in the chat. I think he said, what did he say? I'm Joel. Ha 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 ha. Hake is a fake. And his username, according to him, according to this person, Ultimate Killstorm, all one word, with a capital U. Ultimate Killstorm. Joel ran like a rodent, said Man Godson. Confederate flag is hateful, says MK Ultra. What? No more music, says Slam Poetry. Wastes our time. What do you do? Come on, I don't think it wastes your time. Or does it? Yeah, maybe so. Well, anyway, guys, thank you. Let me double check with the super chats. I appreciate that, guys. Over there on Odyssey, odyssee.com/@the-Hake Report. There was one yesterday which I forgot to read, or it was late in I was late in seeing it. Asmodor over there on Odyssey, odyssee.com/@the-Hake Report states the word Confederate. This is referencing Jeremiah from Louisiana who called in my show yesterday late. He's a black Hebrew Israelite guy. Nice guy at times. And he quoted us from Psalms and talking about they are Confederate against me or something like that. It's a word, as Asmodor states, the word Confederate is a synonym for ally. Jeremiah shows why dumb people shouldn't interpret the Bible for themselves. I know. Yeah. Because he thought that Confederate is in the Bible, therefore the black Hebrew Israelites were in America or something like that. What a mess. Ridiculous. Interesting. So, before I get back to calls, guys, Dean, you're up next, man. I appreciate it. And Rich, I see you guys. I want to tell you about this vulgar thing from the far-left female-run outlet, The Skim. Came out yesterday or so, maybe 2 days ago. This is a quote. He leaves the floss everywhere. And that's a quote, and it's vulgar, I'm sorry, from Katy Perry, whose real name is Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, 37-year-old degenerate liberal woman, singer, pop singer. Has some poppy songs. Started out as a Christian singer. Did you know that? Her parents are these liberal so-called Christians. I think they're preachers, including the wife. I could be mistaken on that. I could be mistaken. But I feel like I've seen them on TV being dumb, trendy-looking liberals. And Katy Perry, she's the one who claims to have kissed a girl and liked it. Disgusting woman. But she's fiancés with Orlando Bloom. Was she already married for a while? Wasn't she married to that British guy who's turned into like a 1/3 of the way reasonable guy sometimes. I think she might have been married with that guy, or maybe she was boyfriends with him or girlfriends with him. But she's apparently, shamelessly, talking about sleeping with a male that she's not even married to, Orlando Bloom. And complaining he loves to floss, which thank God, because some partners, what's she talking about, partners, don't. And it's disgusting. She's disgusting. What's she talking about with disgusting? She's fiance's engaged to this 45-year-old actor, Orlando Bloom. Pirates of the Caribbean, Lord of the Rings. He played Legolas, right? Legolas. She says he has brilliant teeth, but he leaves the floss everywhere. She's a judge, by the way, on American Idol, which is a so-called reality show. Texas Brother Bear says Katy Perry is a lesbian, if you're to believe her songs, her degenerate songs. She definitely supports that degeneracy. I don't know if she is herself, but vulgar person. Started out as a Christian singer. He leaves it everywhere. The floss on my side of the bed, in the car, on the kitchen table. I'm like, there are bins everywhere, meaning trash bins. She was on some podcast, I guess, that telling her she needs to train him. I've done my best, she says. They've been on and off for a few years, and they've already made a baby together, a daughter, Daisy Dove, August 2020. Shameful. I think they were engaged for like 3 years now in the world. But he already has a son too. What a mess, huh? Setting bad example. 11-year-old son, Flynn, with Miranda Kerr, his ex. Terrible, huh? And she's been a mother for some time now. She says, it's just the best in the world. It's the game changer. My heart is so full, finally. Full because you've been a demon. Russell Brand, thank you, big bump. Yeah, she was with that guy for a while. Russell Brand. Did you know that Russell Brand interviewed, what's that guy? He's the white guy from, Jesse interviewed him years back. He's like a pro-white guy. Man, I'm blanking on his name. No. He's a Brit. He's an actual, like, full-blown Brit. Young, like our age. My age, your age. I don't even know. Man, I'm blanking on his name. Maybe it's in the chat already. But anyway, Russell Brand, years ago, interviewed, man, what's that guy? Anyway, it's not important. But I like this guy. No, not Sargon. Not Tommy Robinson. What in the world? You guys are talking too mainstream. Mark Collette, thank you. Yeah, he interviewed Mark Collette. Russell Brand interviewed Mark Collette. Did you know that? Yeah, it was interesting. What a shame. What a terrible shame. And if you think that I'm being kind of prudish for talking about these people who haven't, I mean, is it barely even news? Is it even news that they are sleeping together out of wedlock and having kids out of wedlock and supposedly fiancés for 3 years? And what a mess, huh? But I also saw this other headline. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to censor this one. But it's just vulgar. People magazine is vulgar. Can I say this in a way that's clean? But it also gets the point across. Kids, cover your ears. But I'm not even going to say it. People magazine headline, push notification to me. Rob Lowe, and this is probably from Pushed by Apple News. Rob Lowe, who was, I think, an actor or something like that. He's been in the forefront for some time, or at least in pop culture. On his wife teaching Gwyneth Paltrow, who's an actress, a little bit younger. At one point, she was supposedly pretty. I don't even want to mention this word. Teaching her blank, 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 blank. Rob Lowe on his wife teaching Gwyneth Paltrow blank, blank, blank. Chris Martin and Brad Falchuk, you're welcome. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That that he claims that his wife taught Gwyneth Paltrow, and People Magazine is putting it out there. That's a nice phone, Hake. Thank you. I appreciate it. How do I say it? It's something that the JLP show has done a segment on, saying, ladies, don't do this to guys, and guys, don't do this to ladies. And it's gross, it's vulgar, it's like putting your mouth in the trash. Yeah, exactly, Lord Bibby 42. I don't even want to say the first word, because the first word has become so vulgar. You already know it. Anyway, it's a vulgar, indulgent act that's disgusting. No, it's not that one, DJ on paw. Yeah, exactly. Jim Justice, mouth on body parts. That's good enough. Terrible, huh? And Rob Lowe, I thought he was like supposed to be some old school actor somewhat. Even though he's like trying to hold on to his youth and still trying to look young. But apparently he's partaking in the disgustingness. His wife supposedly taught Gwyneth Paltrow that. And she apparently was dating Chris Martin, who's the guy from this soft songy. They sang the song Yellow, Coldplay, right? Chris Martin, Coldplay. And I don't know who Brad Falchuk is, but probably ex-girlfriends with Gwyneth Paltrow. Am I getting the point across? It's disgusting. And the shamelessness put out by People Magazine, put out by Apple News. Raymond says, "Hey, please describe the mouth on body parts. I'm still a grown young lad. No privacy. See, sheesh. Exactly, Kaya from Texas. Terrible. It's just, the women try to take away the shame from things. A lot of the female-minded and the female-minded liberal males. We get it," says Ghost Rider. Yeah. Don't say that word, Butch Conger. He's putting out I guess that's a technical word for it, but it's terrible. I can't even believe they came up with a technical word for it. Such dirty people. Ugh. Anyway, hope I'm getting the point across, but they want to take away the shame from everything. I remember that Hollywood movie about Santa Inc., put out by the not Christians, these like atheistic, Jewish, liberal, fake, phony, cringy comedians like Sarah Silverstone and blanking on the other guy, but he's kind of fat and he acts like he's funny, Seth Rogen. And they had this one elf in this computer animated Santa Inc. story that's trying to replace Santa with a woman. Say, if I die, get rid of my porn. See, they're just trying to take away the shame of this stuff and push being vulgar as being fine and being perverted as being fine. And it's not fine. It's not good. Terrible, huh? No, it's not that thing, John Doe. But that's sick, too. Anyway. Hope I made the point. More like Satan Inc. Yeah, true. So let me get to Dean now in North Carolina. Dean, thank you for holding, man. How are you?
Awesome, bro. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good deal. I was just hit on two things real fast. The whole thing about like whites not building America. I mean, it's just a falsity, bro. Like, how can you not have? I've built many houses in my life, and I take full responsibility for everything that happens in the house that gets built. The framers don't get blamed. The plumber doesn't get blamed. Nobody gets blamed but the builder of the house.
Wow.
So, yes,
nice.
White people did build this country, and we are to blame. But we are now. Let me take that back. We're not to blame. The maintenance wasn't done. So if somebody buys a house, does no maintenance on it for 30 years, and it goes to crap, and then the next owner comes in and buys it and has to reamp it because they didn't do no maintenance on their house.
Right.
It's just like with our country. We haven't done the maintenance that we were supposed to be doing on our country. We let the fabric of our society just go to crap because we've lost God.
Yeah.
We bring God back in the picture, everything's going to come back into order. And that's the message I love that y'all preach.
I think you do have
And
to blame whites a little bit for that. Past whites, you
Absolutely.
see, and current whites. We have to just
Absolutely.
take
The weak
responsibility.
males that have failed us men. You know, men need to stand back up. The males need to sit back down and do whatever they want to do, and men need to stand back up.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just want to touch one thing. I don't know. When I was growing up, I was part of this organization called D-Malay, and it was an organization underneath the Masonic Temple for 12 through 21, and it was started way back. I think it was like World War I or World War II. After.
What do you mean for 12 through 21? Ages 12 through 21?
Ages 12 through 21.
Wow.
Like they basically you go in there, you sit in their temples. I mean, it's all you go into the Masonic Temple. And I mean, there's girls' organizations that are all in with it, but we'd go to these like conclaves, and I was in it in Virginia, up in Northern Virginia, and we'd go to these like conclaves with like senators and all these like high-end people, and it was crazy.
Yeah,
it was pretty wild. That's nothing I've ever heard.
So
you
were part of the. So you are a Freemason.
Correct, but I have not joined the Freemasons. I got out of it when I was in D-Malay, but I am a Mason. I am a D-Malay.
Oh wow. Have you renounced your D-Malayness?
I just kind of walked away from it. It's not nothing. I renounce it now, of course. You know, I walk with Christ.
Oh,
bro.
okay.
I believe in God, walk with Christ, and I know myself, and everything else kind of falls in line.
Redox Bear says Freemasonry is based.
Yeah, you know, everything's based.
What is free? Explain in 2 sentences or less. What is Freemasonry and what is wrong with it?
Okay, let's see. They don't believe in God. You just believe whatever religion you want as you go in there.
So you can be a Christian and a Freemason, according to them?
Absolutely. They don't care about your religion. You go in there. It's an organization.
A fraternity, right?
You can call it a fraternity. Everyone, it could be an order of fraternity.
Is it only men?
Label it. Yes, it's only men, but there are organizations like you guys have your organization that for like the women's forum and the men's forum.
Okay.
They have organizations like Rainbow Girls. And there's just like a girl organizations of it that we all come to these like huge dances and these huge dance halls, and we dance with the girls and stuff, and they do that so that we can be indoctrinated to like the different higher lifestyles of the families, like the higher end families all get together and they meet their kids together, and it's an organization for like rich people.
It reminds me of what I've heard about the Mormons. Like they try to do these dances to get the Mormons to mingle, Mormon men and ladies to mingle.
Correct. But basically, it's just an organization that helps organize the community. It's no different than an Acorn organization or anything activists. They're just activists that are for the community.
Huh. All right. So what's bad about them? Because you didn't mention, I don't know if you mentioned anything bad about them.
No, I'm not here to criticize. I don't criticize anything.
Then why did you renounce to them?
Because I'm a Christian.
But you said you could be a Christian in both.
Yeah, right. You can be, but you go into their temples, and it's very all right. This is the part that I didn't get to you with.
Okay.
You got 4. You got the north, the south, the east, and the west, and we all. I'm probably gonna get shot or something, but you go into these. You go in there and you sit at these 4 corners, and you have like these seances and stuff, and it's very, very satanic when you get in there. So like, yeah, I do denounce that part of it.
Oh,
but the organization, they put like Acorn, he puts on that good. Like, oh, it's all good. Put a quarter into it, and they talk about this and that, but really, it's a bad organization. It's all bad.
Okay, all right, yeah, because I still have to watch the Fallen State with that Freemason guy, that old guy. The Fallen State with Jesse Lee Peterson some years back interviewed a Freemason guy, an old guy.
Right.
All right.
I just wanted to see if y'all heard that organization or not, but it was basically started for boys who didn't have fathers, so that men could raise them up, as men.
Yeah.
And that's what they say it is, you know what I mean? But they get you behind the closed doors, and then you start realizing what it all really is.
Okay.
So, all right, no worries, bro. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
All right, brother. Later.
All right, bye. Let me read a few explanations from the chat, if this is enlightening at all. Maybe. MK Ultra. Let me read that comment later. Let's see. Freemasons are always the first ones called back to work, says Whitefire. They worship Lucifer in their Bible. Is there a Freemasonry Bibles? Dan Clifton. Freemasons practice a lot of so-called sex magic per absolute death. Whoa. And another, Freemasons are engineers in a group of men, usually like a union, and it gives you grave plots, and they do things for the community. It's like Lions Club for men. Huh. Masons believe they are the architects of the universe, says Rick Liu. Leo, I think is how you pronounce the name. Freemasons are Satanists, says Contra Overt. Lucifer is a Freemason's light. Huh. Masonry is just Talmudism for Gentiles, says Hand of God. Is that true? Jesuits work for the Catholic Church, which is another organization that some people say are evil. Freemasons are evil, says Lord Bibby 42. Huh. Masonry has the esoteric and the exoteric. This guy is only speaking about low levels, but don't be fooled. The esoteric side of the Masons is not to be minimized. What a mess. Okay, so, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I will be getting to more of your super chats. And actually, let me quickly just address this one from MK Ultra. Hake, I got love for you. And I agree with a lot of what you say. That flag, referring to this beautiful Confederate-style battle/rebel flag, this rebel flag here, that flag is divisive. I understand what you're saying. I understand that you could describe it as divisive, but why is it divisive? People are. It's kind of like they're smearing the N-word as being racist, when the N-word is not racist. They have smeared this flag. Many people have smeared this flag. There's a push from evil people to call it divisive and evil, when in reality, most of the people who fly this flag and love the flag, this rebel flag, are not about being so-called divisive, at least not in a bad way. And so I fly it in defiance, in rebellion against the evil establishment, such as Amazon. Amazon, would you agree, MK Ultra, are an evil commie capitalist organization, book burners, if you will. They want to silence and marginalize and smear the decent people, and they banned the sale of so-called Confederate paraphernalia. And they're not decent people. They did it in reaction after an America hater, a white hater, a person who hates whites, called Ta-Nehisi Coates, wrote this article after the church shooting by Dylan Roof over in, I want to say like Charleston, South Carolina, or North Carolina. I don't know where. But he shot up a church of blacks, right? There was some black politician or something over there. He shot him up. He was trying to start a race war. And they dug up a picture of him flying the Confederate rebel flag. He also flew the flag of Rhodesia, which is, I think, a white country in Africa, or was a white country in Africa. And so they smeared the South, the beautiful South, as a symbol of hate, as if the flag is to blame for, because their flag is flown on like state capitol grounds up in North Carolina or South Carolina, up until the rhino, Nikki Haley, got rid of it, pandering to the blacks, kissing up. And out of this spirit of kissing up and smearing the whites and smearing the rebels, the beautiful rebels, our American brothers, they started banning it. Amazon banned it. Ta-Nehisi Coates is not an America-loving person. He doesn't love whites. He doesn't even love blacks. He doesn't even love his own son. He brainwashed his son to believe in this fake racism thing that police are killing black people unjustifiably. And it's such a lie. That's partly why I fly the flag, because these are our American brothers and sisters who are being marginalized and mocked and worse, or demonized falsely. It's so false. So I understand that it is in the culture, it makes people nervous, even people who are just normies who don't have any beef, right, against whites. But they're just brainwashed to feel that this flag is divisive. No. The divisive people are the ones smearing the flag and smearing the people who fly the flag and smearing the whites and smearing Trump supporters, many of whom are the great white Christians in the South, and black Christians in the South too love the flag. But they don't want you to know that. So I do understand it. I totally understand it. But I think that I'm going to keep flying it. When I go on other shows, I cover it up because a lot of people, supposedly Twitch, doesn't let people have this flag on their streams. Even though I'm on a Twitch stream and I have the flag. But maybe I'll get flagged from Twitch as a hate speech person since I have the rebel flag here. What a mess, huh? So out of respect for some people who don't want their streams shut down, I'll cover it. Because you do have to function in the world, right? But it's a terrible shame. They called the B word, for women, female dog. They called that a hate speech, when in reality it's a descriptive, useful word. Same thing with the N word. They tried to say that the N word was to dehumanize the blacks. No. It was not even used as a negative thing, the N word. And now blacks are brainwashed and trained, hypnotized to overreact anytime a white uses the N word. Crazy, huh? That's a terrible thing. Dukes of Hazzard, Rick Liu brings up. Yeah, the Dukes of Hazzard was a beautiful show back in the day, or a pretty cool show. And they had the General Lee, which was a Dodge Charger, I think. I don't know my stuff. And it had the beautiful rebel flag on the top of the vehicle. And they would jump in. They wouldn't even use the doors. They had to jump in. Bo and Luke Duke. Very cool. So, I encourage you guys to question your training, to think that this thing is such a bad thing. I'm fighting for the freedom of the culture is kind of what I'm doing by showing that. Hope that explains it, MK Ultra. Thank you, man. Nice name. Rich in Victorville, California. How are you doing, Rich?
All right, thank you for having me on hold for an hour, Hake.
On what hour?
I said thank you for answering my call.
Oh, you said thank you for having me on hold for an hour, Hake. You're welcome. Yeah, you're welcome.
I want to, for sure, I want to add on to the last caller. Wow, what a great call today, man.
Oh, cool. The last caller, we talked about the Freemasons?
Yes. He doesn't know what he's talking about, right?
It sounded like he was not thorough in his answer.
Okay, you want to know who's really a Freemason? Kyle Rittenhouse.
Is he a Freemason?
If you look on the court, remember when they were doing the trial? There's a picture of him doing the hidden hand gesture. It's called the hidden hand. You can Google it. It's a well-known Freemason gesture. And the reason he's doing that is because Freemasons believe in what? Duality. They're the black and white checkered. What does that represent? The race war. You know who else is a Freemason? Donald Trump.
Is he?
Donald Trump. Oh, please.
But you make
Huh?
assertions that are specious. Is specious a good word for suspect assertions? That I'm not positive or true. You make assertions that I'm not so positive or true.
No, I'm giving you the truth. Right here, right now. You want to hear it?
I'm afraid to ask. Superficially plausible. Specious means superficially plausible, but actually wrong. Yeah, sometimes you seem like you might be making some specious statements. Hang up, Hake, says Lord Baby 42.
That's what you want to tell yourself.
Keep it clean.
You want to continue.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to say nothing vulgar. I'm not going to disrespect nobody. I'm not going to say anything that I can't say on the radio. I'm telling you right now, that's what Freemasonry is. That's what the black and white.
So they like the race war?
I promise you.
So is that what is Obama a race war guy? Is he a Freemason?
100%.
And how about the mainstream media? Is he a Freemason? Are they Freemasons?
See, this is the thing with
like CNN. CNN pushes the race thing all the time. They lie about imaginary racism.
remember Fox News, how at the end of Trump's thingy-majiggy, they went against him? Remember? Because they're all a part of the same chessboard, and the people are just the pawns in their elite game. And that's what politics is. Politics, sucking you of your energy, sucking everybody. It's just a waste of time, Hake. But
man, clever with your
worship.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hake, the true. Why do they teach you spelling and cursive at school? Spelling, remember? Casting a spell, cursive, grammar. The word grammar comes from grimoire, a book of demonology. I'm not making this up. Freemasons run.
I'm sure that you've heard this elsewhere.
Freemasons run this. No, I didn't.
Some say that. Some in the chat are asserting aggressively that Donald Trump is not a Freemason.
Yeah, that's because they hate Mexicans and they're envious of the children of immigrants. They don't want to compete with them because they can't.
Who? Because they're the Masons? Are the Masons white?
No, you white people who like to big yourself up and put people down. You hate Mexicans. That's why you love Trump so much, right?
You don't know me. Trump loves Mexican people.
That's why you love Trump so much. No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
That's why he started off. You know why, Hake? Because the Mexicans are the descendants of the original people of this whole continent.
Oh,
the
Lord.
People that were here before all of you guys.
No, Mexicans are mixed with the Spaniards.
Exactly.
And the Spaniards were not the first people, I'm leery that even the Asians who, allegedly Asians came into this continent and became the Indians, right?
Hey, how does a tree work? Do you see a tree, when you see the leaves?
Do you want a medal because you think that you were here first?
No, nobody wants a medal. I'm saying why you support Trump so much and why you people be hating so much.
We don't hate anybody. You're the one who's hating. You hate white people.
Nobody hates white people.
Yeah, you do.
Hate
Nobody hates white people.
Yourself.
Okay, buddy. All right.
So
you're part white? Are you part white?
I'm not saying nobody hates white people. I'm saying I don't hate white people. Of course, I'm part white, as most Mexicans are. So why do you hate them so much?
I don't hate the Mexicans. You're the ones who's hating them. Why do you hate white people?
Oh, so Trump is not a Freemason?
I don't think that he is, according to... I'm not... Until I see evidence. Until he says he is.
Hake, even if he's not a Freemason, he's a pawn for the Freemasons, just like you and Jesse.
In other words, you're saying that you don't know... You made a claim that you don't know to be true.
No, Trump 100% is a Freemason, but...
Then how come you're saying if he's not?
Why do you want to worship Trump so much?
I don't worship him. You're the one worshiping Satan.
How am I worshiping Satan when I just gave you the
Because you're all into your fake identity.
But you've created this world and this life and existence around this.
I didn't create this. I'm not God.
Conservative. You don't want to just swallow your pride and just admit maybe we're playing and fueling the race war and playing into the whole game of the elite. Why? That's evil.
You're the one playing this game. You're accusing people of hating who have no hate in their heart at all.
That you guys do hate Mexicans. That's what he said. What he said about Mexicans.
Nope.
Yes,
Trump told the truth about Mexicans.
How? When
he said Mexico is not sending their best. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. All of that is true. And some, I assume, are good people. All of that is true. That's the plain truth.
Says the dude who said he would sleep with his daughter.
You're dirty. You're dirty, Rich. You are the evil person. You're the hater.
He did not
say that.
He
did not say that.
Daughter,
you better drop it. You better drop it because that's too dirty to be even mentioning on the radio.
All right,
you should really be ashamed of yourself. You should really be ashamed of yourself for gossiping in that way. What a sick person.
You're not perfect. Your ego isn't dead. You guys have anger, and it's obvious.
Oh, okay. All right.
Right, Hake?
Wrong.
You have anger, so does Jesse, and so does all your
You don't know people. Anything. You're just making up claims.
I have compassion for you guys because I know throughout this
world... Oh, okay. Very compassionate Rich up here. Creepy, compassionate Rich.
Oh, I'm creepy because I speak the truth.
You're extremely creepy.
That's what you people do, and that's why karma's coming around.
You believe in karma now, too? What type of person are you? Are you a Christian?
I believe in energy. What you go out, what you put out comes back to you. Hake.
Are you from India? Why do you believe in karma? Are you from India?
I'm not from India.
Then how come you believe in karma?
Hake.
Are you a child of hippies?
I know that. Jesse,
are you a child of hippies?
Lonely. all the women that call to
Are you a child of hippies? Now he's just changing the subject. Thank you for your call, man. I kept him on as long as I could, but it's hard to have a conversation with him because he changes his subject a bunch. Thank you. I appreciate it, Rich. He's all, hey, thanks for keeping me on for an hour. That happens. I have to get to my stuff, and there's a lot of callers. A lot of people have been on hold forever. Speaking of, let me get to Joe in Portland, Oregon. Joe, thank you for holding, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, Hake?
No man is good. I'm fine.
I've heard that before.
Yeah, it's in the Bible. It's a fact.
Yeah. Yep. So I want to ask you what your opinion is on what should be done about the gays, about the LGBT people.
I think that they should be encouraged to have dignity and have respect. Go into the closet and overcome it like we all have to overcome our issues, and we don't need to be spreading it and taking pride in wrongdoing. That's such a female thing. It's so wrong. It's misguided. It's a disservice to themselves, and to everyone around them. Yeah.
Yes.
Same thing too with the gossipers. If you're prone to gossip, keep it to yourself.
Yep.
If you're prone to think ill of another man without evidence, without the proof, and it's not even your business, keep it to yourself. I'm referencing our prior conversation about MJ.
Yeah. Well, if you
have you thought any more about what I told you?
Yes, I still disagree.
You disagree that you should not be pushing mess.
I think it's perfectly fine to speculate about topics.
About stuff that has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, I think it's fine to speculate. No problem with it whatsoever.
You don't see the have you seen the destruction of the Me Too movement?
Oh yeah.
And that was all speculation.
Yes. However, the difference is, Hake, when I speculate, I give a disclaimer that I don't have proof that this is 100% positive, but my guess is that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
You're not a Christian, right?
Most of that, you are correct. I'm not.
But do you believe in treating others as you would like to be treated?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's say that there was some circumstance that you went through. Maybe you did some ill-advised things, and other people think that you did worse than what you did based on the circumstances and the evidence and things that you said and done and all that stuff. But it wasn't true. But somebody said, oh, most likely he's this. When in reality, they're just going off stuff that makes you look worse than you really are. But they're saying, oh, most likely, I don't know for sure, but most likely he's this. Or would you want people to just say, I don't know?
If there was substantial evidence and substantial reason for them to believe it to be true, then I would be okay with them saying that as long as they gave that disclaimer.
Really? So you would be fine.
Yeah.
How about when you're living? Because this is a dead man that you're talking about. How about when you're living, where your life can be severely, like, say you were a pop star, the king of pop, and then they, let's pretend that you were still alive, and this was going around, and they just smear and marginalize you based on something that's not even true, but they have reason to believe it, but they give that thing, but then most people are not going to be, oh, but it's not that bad. We don't know for sure, but it looks most likely he is. You wouldn't want that.
I would think that, no, I'd be okay with that if people were saying that. If there was substantial evidence, I would be
substantial evidence, but it's not even true.
I would understand people saying that.
I would understand it, but would you want it? Would
Like,
you
for
want them?
example, with the case,
Would you want them
I
dragging
would-
your name through the mud, saying, "I don't know for sure, but most likely he's a blank"?
I wouldn't want them to do it.
Then-
but if they did it,
See?
it would be understandable.
I
It
didn't
would
ask
be
you if you. I did
understandable.
not ask you if it would be understandable. I said, "Would you want it?" And
Well,
then
we
you
don't always have
lied to
do
me.
Everything everybody wants, do we?
I just said, treat people how you would want to be treated. Would you want that? And you just admitted to me that you would not want that.
But I wouldn't. It would be okay with me if
No. You just admitted. I know it would be okay with you. I know you would understand it. I know you're a reasonable man and you know that the world is evil. And so you expect
Yeah.
the world to be evil against you. I asked you what you would want.
Well, even if I could.
No. Would you want it?
Hey,
Would you want it?
Listen to me, okay?
It's a yes
even
or a no.
if I did something wrong, and people were talking about it, I still wouldn't want them to be talking about it. but
See?
it would be
Then why are
certainly
you doing it? Then
understandable.
why are you doing it?
Well, why are you? You do it too.
No.
You do it too.
Why are
Don't
you
understand
doing it?
that?
I'm not your moral
You-
standard. Am I your moral? Do you base your morals on how Hake
No,
acts?
but I'm saying you're being
Hake
a
does it.
hypocrite.
Must be fine. Hake does it too, supposedly. Which I don't even know what
I'm,
example
I'm
you have.
saying you're a hypocrite. I'm saying
No,
you're
you're the hypocrite because you're not even
I'm
not even
not.
holding up to reality.
Dude, why are you so into
You just
defending
made the
Michael
claim.
Jackson?
No. Hold on. You made the claim. You believe in doing to others as you would have them do unto you. And then you admitted that you would not want this done to you. So you're the hypocrite.
But
you don't actually live by that.
No, you're wrong.
Yes,
You're
I am
wrong.
right.
No. Hake, come on, let's get along here.
No,
Why not?
because you're not my mom. You can't make me get along.
Okay.
My mom can't even
I
make
mean,
me get along.
We agree on so much.
I know. It
so
doesn't mean
much.
that we have to. Doesn't mean that I have to pretend that you're right for being wrong.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
We can agree to disagree.
But
How about that?
objectively speaking, you made the claim
Yeah.
you believe in treating others as you would want to be treated. But you admitted
Yes.
that you treated MJ as you would not want to be treated.
But what I said is it would be understandable.
But that's not how
people-
you would want to be treated. You don't say, do you believe in treating others in a way that's wrong but understandable? Is that what you're
Well,
saying?
nobody wants anyone to say anything negative about them, whether it's
especially
true or not.
especially if it's not true.
Especially, yes.
So then why are you saying negative stuff about something, whether it's true or
If people
not?
give a disclaimer, I don't care what they're saying.
Wow. Then no, that's not true though. That's not true.
That is true.
No, it's not.
How do you know it's not? What are you, inside my head?
Because you just admitted that you would not want it. Giving a
That's
disclaimer is
what-
not an excuse to spread gossip.
It's not gossip.
Yes,
when
it is. It's gossip.
You don't know the meaning of gossip.
Gossip
when
is
you're-
talking about someone's business
No.
that's not your business.
Yeah, and it's saying it as a fact.
No,
Like, if I were to
gossip
say-
is not saying it as a fact. Gossip is saying, I
Yes, it
heard
is.
blank, blank, blank.
Yes,
That's
it is.
gossip.
Look up, get a dictionary. Don't you want a dictionary?
No, I don't. Dictionaries
Look it
are
up.
fake news. Liberal?
I'm not a liberal.
Yeah, you
dude.
are.
No, I'm
Yes, you are.
conservative to the core. Yeah, I am.
No, you're not.
What are you, 12 years old? Yes, I am. No, you're not.
Anyway,
Anyway, I agree with you about the LGBT.
that's nice. You agree with other bad people, but you don't even look at yourself.
I look at myself. I try to be the best person I can be.
In the army.
I'm not in the army. Never
I know
was.
it's an old
You know,
cartoon thing.
It's an old commercial.
Yeah. How old are you again? 50s?
58.
Dang.
Dang, I'm old.
You're a young boomer?
Yeah, I'm right.
We've been over
between
this, I
Boomer and
remember.
Gen X.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle there. So your music that you play, that's like post Gen X music.
Yeah.
Or no, yeah. So it's kind of like it came right after the music that I was into.
Right.
Yeah. I don't like the music you play. I think it's like a watered down version of 80s alt rock.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's kind of soft and beta.
Yeah, it is kind of beta, and the songs aren't very catchy.
Whoa.
I mean, if you're going to play alt rock, play the Smiths, play the Cure, play Echo and the Bunnymen, stuff like that.
Well, I appreciate the feedback, but I try to play the stuff that I was listening to back in the day. Mostly it's Christian music that I've been playing, but this band, I don't think they're Christians.
Human Television?
Human Television.
They're not Christian, I don't think.
Yeah. No one likes Hake's music, says
you...
Luca Music. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Gossip music, says Tariq.
Maybe you should listen to your viewers.
I like the antagonistic relationship I have with my chat about the music.
Yeah.
All right.
It doesn't concern you that you might be losing viewers?
I don't know. That's why I stopped playing it at the beginning and middle. So I just started playing it at the middle so that it's 2 minutes. If you're gonna sit there a full, I don't know, what a mess. Anyway.
Thank
you,
good
man.
talking with you, Hake.
All right,
All
you
right,
too.
take it easy.
You as well.
Bye.
Bye. Hang on, callers. Michael, I'm getting to you next. Hang tight. Here is a, let me skip this trust the science thing about the China virus. Can I briefly just cover this story? It's kind of funny. 2 funny stories real fast. Clip 11, I think. Which clip is clip 11? Let me just make sure. Yeah, this was kind of a funny situation. I saw this on Barstool Sports on Twitter. A reporter reporting on like some cold down, I don't know, in the country in the South. Back east somewhere. By back east, I mean east of California somewhere. Probably even east of Arizona. Reporter gets hit by a car while on TV. She gets up and finishes her report. Watch this. Just kind of funny. Lighthearted thing. Watch this.
On the 3's Tori Yorkie joins us now live in Dunbar. And Tori, they're not seeing any flakes, but wet roads. And now we're starting to experience, unfortunately, in freeze thaw, we see this, water main breaks.
West Virginia.
Whoa! Oh my gosh. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim.
That's the first for you on
okay.
TV, Tori.
Woo! We're all good. I'm okay. Yeah, that's live TV for you. It's all good. I actually got hit by a car in college, too, just like that.
Wow.
I am so glad I'm okay.
Yeah.
You're okay. You're okay. We're all good.
Is she talking to herself?
This is, you know what? It's one
sure
woman
you're
band.
okay, Tori?
We're good, Tim. Ma'am,
sure you're
you
okay?
are so sweet and you are okay. It is all good. Oh, Lord.
So
it's my last week on the job, and I think this would happen.
So you were bumped
specifically to me, Tim.
Were you bumped down low, Tori, or were you hit up high? I couldn't really tell from looking.
Oh, I don't even. Do you know if I was bumped down low or up high, sir?
I just saw you disappear
I don't even
out of
know.
the screen.
I don't even know, Tim. My whole life just flashed before my eyes.
Oh,
but this is live TV and everything's okay. I thought I was in a safe spot, but clearly we might need to move the camera over a bit.
Yeah.
So let me do that while I'm thinking of it.
Crazy.
Now,
Huh?
just to set you stage for you once again, Tori's in an area right now there's been a water main break, so there are emergency vehicles around there, and a lot of times what we have seen in those kind of situations are when emergency vehicles are around, there's a lot of confusion from people about drivers about where to go, so it's possible
people
that's
get
what happened
distracted
there.
a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry, you didn't even see
Oh
the
God, that woman was so nice though.
Yeah.
She didn't
Woman
mean
driver?
to. It was an accident. I know it was, and I'm okay. Everything's fine. But again, Tim, we'll get back to the report, right? We're on Roxalana Hills Drive in Dunbar. This is where that water main break is, and this is what happens sometimes in these cold weathers. Megan Hannes with West Virginia American Water. She said that while they can't say for sure it's from the cold weather, they can say that
there's another car right behind
it could be a possibility just due to those extreme temperatures dropping and kind of swinging, something that we've seen. But so far, it's just rain, and clearly, you know, roads are a little slick, and it's a little...
Watch out, people. What a mess. So nice. You're so nice. She almost killed her. Yeah, terrible. This is why Saudi Arabia does not, or did not, at one point allow women drivers. And she got hit by a car in college like that. Terrible, huh? Another quick story. This one is a little bit more serious, maybe. This was a man. This was from back in 2016, but it just caught my eye. It seemed a little unfair. I'm not sure, though. I'm not sure if it's fair or unfair. Women drivers are dangerous. It's from YouTube. WSB TV. Man convicted of rape, alleged rape. Well, convicted. I mean, he pleaded guilty. But I don't know what type of rape this was. If it was so-called sexual assault or what he did. But he tells his victims, sorry again, y'all, my bad. Listen to this report on what went down.
Now, an apology in court from a man pleading guilty to rape. The 20-year-old victim, or the 20-year-old told his victims, quote, my bad. News Since 4, we are hearing from one of those victims on the stand and more about that apology from Channel 2's Wendy Corona. Wendy's live outside the Fulton County Courthouse.
Well, that guy apologized twice, and perhaps not as heartfelt as some would have hoped to hear, but an apology nonetheless. 20-year-old Terry Young was taken away in handcuffs to serve life in prison plus 5 years for numerous charges that included aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and even 2 counts of rape.
It was belated, but I'm glad that you accepted responsibility. It did prevent other witnesses from having to come forward and relive the nightmare again.
The trial of 20-year-old Terry Young ended just hours after it began. The jury heard opening statements and testimony from one victim before they broke for lunch. Just hours into what was slated to be a 7-day trial, it ended.
Being 20 years old, I want to be a man and take responsibility for my actions.
Actions that authorities say terrorized an East Point townhome community that included rapes, armed robberies, kidnapping, and aggravated assaults in September 2015. One victim described seeing Young when he entered her family's home.
This young man come to the door for the gun. I said, oh my God, it's a robber.
Judge Kelly Lee Ellerby thanked the victims for participating in their case and ultimately helping bring justice. Young's defense attorney argued for leniency in sentencing, stating that Young had been on his own from the age of 15 and made stupid mistakes as a result. But even Young, facing several counts of life in prison, in the end didn't cry, took responsibility, and apologized.
I'm gonna stand tall, keep my head up, and just say sorry again, y'all. My bad.
Moments later,
what is your plea?
Dang.
Young is basically eligible for parole after 35 years. Now, as for the victims that were in the courtroom, they did not want to talk on camera, but I could see at least a sense of relief in their body posture, and a couple of them even smiled afterward. For now, we're live in downtown Atlanta. Wendy Corona, Channel 2 Action News.
What a mess, huh? What a mess. And he got life in prison for that. A 20-year-old young man, or trying to be a man, take responsibility and say, sorry again, y'all, my bad. What a mess, huh? Apparently he went into these women's homes in this apartment building. Maybe it was like Section 8. Maybe it was black women that he was doing this to. Forced them to go to the ATM, pull out money for him, I guess, and forced him back into the apartment and did things with them. And it was called rape or sexual assault. The problem is they use the term sexual assault. And JJ Money says, rape is rape, Hake. I know, but nowadays they call everything rape. So I don't know what they mean. They call stuff sexual assault. And sometimes that's just you know how regular assault, right? Regular assault includes like brandishing, pointing a gun at somebody. You don't even touch them, or threateningly act like you're going to hit them. That's assault without even touching them, or touching them when they don't want to be touched. That's assault. And so sexual assault has gotten so watered down that I don't know what the actual thing is. Yeah, is he raping midgets? This guy is built like a toothpick. Yeah, he was tiny. He was barely taller than the police car, the little police car. And this big old black cop, put him in the... I don't know, but I don't know if he should have pleaded guilty. Because he got life. Seems like people do lesser stuff and they do worse stuff, which I don't know what the specifics are that he did, because rape doesn't mean rape anymore. Forcible rape, maybe that actually should be a life sentence, I guess. But people just get away with so much today, and he pleaded guilty. I think that means that they just did everything to him. And it was a woman judge. Crazy, huh? Crazy situation. Anyway, let me quickly get to Michael, a first-time caller out of Washington State, I believe. What's up, Michael?
Hey, happy birthday, Hake.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
We've been celebrating it for a year. I'm still into it, man.
Nice.
Hey, I'm MK Ultra from the chat.
So right on, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, man. You're welcome. Thanks for giving me a shout out. Hey, hopefully, I just want, chats are hard to explain yourself on, and I got a little schooled on the chat, but that's good. I kind of understand where you're coming from. I guess, what I was trying to say is I've tried to share some of your messages and your show with a few of my friends, and they're black and brown, and they won't even get past that flag to listen to you.
Yeah.
And I think it's doing you a disservice, because I think a lot of people could really benefit from what you're saying.
I appreciate that feedback. That is interesting. I did not know that. Nice context. Yeah, I totally appreciate you, man.
Yeah, the chats are hard, so I didn't want to come off like a hater. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand the Southern pride, and I understand where you're coming from with that flag. And I thought the Amazon comparison was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, right on, man. I appreciate you coming on and explaining yourself.
You're welcome, man, and keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep celebrating your birthday. And I'd like you growing that beard back, man.
Nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother.
All right,
man. Keep doing God's work, man.
Thank you. You as well. Take care.
Oh, one other thing.
Yeah.
My name, like you called out my name.
Yes.
That's just a play on my initials and the brainwashing that unfortunately our government does to the people.
Yeah.
So.
MK Ultra was a thing, wasn't it? A FBI ploy to like infiltrate and discredit some black popular movements or something?
No, it actually used psychedelic drugs and used drugs to brainwash people. I believe Whitey Bulger was what had done to him was whites and blacks, and I believe military.
Okay.
So it's just a brainwashing technique. So just wanted to give you context for the name, but
all right,
love
man.
what you guys do at Bond. Fly that Bond flag, man.
Okay. Thanks again, Michael. Take care.
You're welcome, brother.
All right. Callers, I cannot get to you. Jeremiah in Louisiana wanted to talk about the Abraham Lincoln and Jesus quote, talking about the devil, or Abraham Lincoln talking about the United States. A house divided against itself shall not stand. Jeremiah, if you can, man, if I'm live tomorrow, which I should be, call me tomorrow. Art in Ohio wanted to talk about some TikTok evils. There's a lot of evils related to TikTok. Appreciate you, Art in Ohio. And Rick in Hampton, Virginia wanted to talk about the Freemasons of the rest of the callers. I can't do it, man. But, is there any more super chats? I'll get to any other super chats that I missed. Project MK Ultra was the code name of an illegal human experimentation program, per Wikipedia, designed by the CIA and undertaken by the CIA. Experiments to, anyway, what a mess. Thank you, guys. This has been the Hake Report. Hopefully we'll have a JLP on God's Learning Channel episode, possibly, this afternoon. And then I will be at 6 p.m. Pacific on the Crucible YouTube channel. You can go to thehakereport.com and look for the appearances. Find links to that. And, of course, Bond Women's Forum, third Thursday of the month. Be there, ladies, 7 p.m. tonight, third Thursday of the month here at Bond. Thanks, guys. Take care.